We booked the section in March, showed up yesterday, and they said it was canceled. Canceled by who? Because we didn't do it. We waited 3 hours, not for Beyonce, not for brunch, just to get played in our face. I got the video of the employee explaining why they had to stop serving liquor because the damn promoter didn't even pay for the liquor.
Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to Event Lemons. In this video today, we're going to analyze an event that divided attendees. There were groups of people who had a fantastic time. They thought the experience totally delivered on all of the promises and all was good. But then there were this opposite end of the spectrum where people felt like event organizers and promoters totally took advantage of everything and scammed them. It's funny how one event can give you such a range of results. Let's take a look at Dukes and Boots that happened a few months ago in Atlanta. And then, of course, as always, we'll try to identify some red flags that maybe you can use.
Massive venue change is so expensive. Nobody ever wants to do it. I don't know what happened to where they lost that large plot of land where the vision started. And I honestly feel for them because I would have been sick to my stomach to try to figure out how we can recreate this somewhere else. But they should have recreated it somewhere else. They should have just found another plot of land where they could still keep the core promises that they made to their customers. If you said ATVs are going to be there, a lot of people bought tickets because they thought ATVs were going to be there. And if ATVs are not going to be there, now they don't want to go. I also don't think it should have been communicated in a static image post with a lot of words because it's a very big deal. Now you're going to motocross, venue costs more. Now to make up for this, you have to charge for everything. Hurting the reputation, hurting your experience with your customers, which is top tier. Like that's literally the entire like when you're hosting events, it's all about the experience, the day of. And the biggest mistake I think I've been seeing is announcing that 40,000 people are going to be there. So when they see 40,000 people, they're only thinking about 40,000 people in one space at the same time, standing outside, no chairs, really hot. But communication has been like a major pitfall for their entire operation because it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And some things really shouldn't have been said at all.
I 100% agree with this person. To be honest, venue changes are not automatically red flags, but the red flags came into play when the organizers handled everything very poorly, specifically with communication of what's going on. When the event is built around ATV experiences and trail riding, but the new venue does not allow that or will not accommodate that, you need to make sure you uh, communicate that with your ticket purchasers because at that point, like she mentioned, some people may not want to participate anymore because the whole premise of the event has shifted. So this was definitely a red flag, not necessarily because the venue changed, but because of the lack of communication or breakdown in communication from the event organizers.
You driving up, parking is 20. What? Okay. So we were walking around and we're like, okay, we know they got a little carnival going on. Like, let's go check that out. That's $20. Then we decide that we're hungry. I'm realizing walking through this event, these prices are absolutely outrageous. I paid $16 for Philly cheesesteak fries. And then they sold drinks that were in a smaller version of a solo cup. That was a single shot and that was $16. The double shots were around $26 to $27 if you want a regular solo cup size worth of a drink. Ambulance was going up and down the whole event all day.
It was nothing but a hip-hop hot mess. That's what it was. They didn't have a piece of hay. It wasn't a trail ride like it was advertised to be a trail ride. I didn't see a horse, a cowboy. The walk, y'all, let me tell you, from parking even to get into the gate of the venue was a 30-minute walk. If you couldn't get to the stage to see any of the performances,
they take no cash. Everything had to be card. That was not listed in the flyer. Didn't know you couldn't bring your purse in there. So we sitting there trying to put shit in shit. Yeah.
Different flyers had different things. But people was passing out.
People was passing out.
We had fun. We had our tent. We had our chairs. We
where, we could see the stage. We had no issues. We had fun. We danced. We mixed. We mingled. We met so many different people. I don't know why people didn't have fun, to be honest.
I honestly think for the time frame of you like changing the event from where it was originally to something super big, it was good. It was plenty photo ops. I love that. There was line dancing. I'm gonna give the event like a 7 out of 10.
Me and my friends had a total different experience. We did have lawn chairs. We had portable fans. I had a grand slamming time. I feel like it was a really good vibe. I really do. It was no craziness going on. Nobody got a hand. It was no shooting. It was no fighting. It was no arguing. Security, police, everything was on deck. It was cool.
I noticed a pattern. I'm hoping you did too, off top. People who brought their own stuff, like their own tents, their own chairs, their own waters, and probably most importantly, their own realistic expectations. I mean, you are in Georgia in the middle of the summer. It's going to be hot. Those people had a much, much better experience than those people who did not come prepared. Not that I think that the positive experience is solely left up to the attendee. I do not feel that way. I do feel like it's up to the event organizer to make sure they have at least the basic amenities that a crowd would need. And I think some of this could have been a quick communication. I know in my experience, we would always put together like a get ready email to just remind people, hey, don't forget to bring your chair in your tent and a cold towel, remind people of what the temperature is expected to be that day. I mean, just some tips to help them have a great experience. I think that would show professionalism from the organizer side as well as help your attendees have a phenomenal experience at your festival.
Had purchased it for the original ranch and that they would be refunded. But no one is being refunded because they were checking people in by hand. Yes, it shows that we're checked in, although we don't have a cabana that we paid for. And we were supposed to be refunded, but in reality, we're not going to be refunded.
We booked our tickets, we booked our VIP cabana back in March. We was like, all right, 10 people in the VIP cabana, that's what it was offering. It was like $800 and something. We like, all right, bet, let's just do that. We get an email, and the email was like, due to high demand, it's no longer gonna be at this ranch that we were excited about it being at because they was offering ATV rides, trail rides, all of that. You could bring ATV, all of that. Like, that's what it was at the ranch. They said specifically in the email, if you paid to bring your ATV, if you paid to bring your cooler, you would get a refund, and your refund will be processed within 7 days. The reason why your name is not on the list over here is because y'all were supposed to receive a refund. What? We were supposed to receive a refund? Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, if I'm following correctly here, this is where the poor planning now officially moves into some questionable and possibly sketchy business practices. I mean, if they purchased VIP packages and services and the organizers cancel some of their services, but then they mark the people as checked in just so they can avoid refunding them, yeah, that's not a communication issue. That's definitely a billing issue. And to me, it tarnishes the credibility of this organizer and future events. It would make people feel some type of way about doing business with them for, future events or whatever. It would leave a bad taste in my mouth as well.
The lack of water stations was mind-boggling to me because I wasn't even in the event an hour into it, and I had already saw at least 4 people needing medical attention. They were passed out, like needing help because they were hot and dehydrated. If you needed cold water, you had to pay $5 for it. And again, like I said, the complimentary water stations that they had, it was hot water.
You got people needing, water. You needing fans. You needing stuff. People try to cool them down. You got people leaving, getting on a stretcher, getting IV and all these things. 2 water stations ain't enough. For 40,000 people, 2 water stations, and the water was hot.
I got the video of the employee explaining why they had to stop serving liquor because the damn promoter didn't even pay for the liquor.
Music kept cutting out because the shit was overheating.
The fundamental issue is that the event organizers scaled up their venue out of necessity. Yes, ticket sales were coming in obviously much better than they anticipated, which is fantastic. But where they failed is they did not scale up their infrastructure. And the starting point for any event, it does not matter the event type. It could be like a festival as this one, it could be a conference, oh, even a wedding. You have to start with making sure you have the basic amenities to accommodate your guests. Basic safety requirements like cold drinking water that's free, easily accessible, and findable is where you start. And when you don't do that, that's when the problems start to happen because those are 100% non-negotiables. Dukes and Boots Festival shows how the same event can create completely different experiences. The people who had the most fun came prepared with their own shade, their own chairs, their own water bottles. Essentially, they brought their own event infrastructure, as I just mentioned. And those who felt like they had been scammed were expecting the event organizers to provide basic amenities, in which they should have, and the VIP services that they paid for. The real red flags aren't necessarily the heat or the excessive walking. Those are manageable with a bit of preparation, and I do feel like the organizers could have helped with that. But the problem to me were the venue changes eliminated the core experiences that people were expecting, like the ATV ride and the trail ride aspect of this. The council VIP services without properly refunding people. And then most important were the safety issues, not having adequate hydration that was cool and would accommodate the amount of people they were expecting to attend the festival. Events are not easy, folks. They're hard. And if you're an organizer, keep this in mind. Attendees will forgive you for changing the venue. They'll look past some of your logistical challenges. But when safety concerns come into play, they look at that as non-negotiable and they just won't forgive you for that. I would love to know more about your event. Have you experienced anything like this? Do you have another event that you have heard of or experienced yourself that you'd like me to take a look at and analyze? If so, drop your comments below. I'd love to read all about them. If you enjoy this content, I invite you to subscribe for a brand new channel. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share. And until the next one, thank you for watching.